as a first firewall product. Okay, so in this 5-in-1 firewall mastery program, as a first firewall product, you guys are going to start to learn FortiGate firewall. Okay, so official FortiGate curriculum we will start from Monday only, guys. Okay, so today, as I mentioned, today and tomorrow we are going to talk. We are going to see how to install your lab setup. Okay, so after come in FortiGate firewall, we are going to cover previously this FortiGate firewall, this curriculum previously known as NSC4 certification. Okay, so you can write after completion of FortiGate firewall training, you are eligible to write NSC4 written examination, and if you are passed that examination, you will be NSC4 certified professional network security expert level 4, which is comes under professional level certification. Okay, so but right now past almost last year they in this year they have changed the curriculum for the certification. Okay, so if you want to become a NSC4 NSC1 certification, NSC1, it's a free of cost. You can write the examination free of cost directly in a Fortinet and Fortinet account. Okay, Fortinet portal, and where it's fundamental. So if you are not aware, if you are very new to this domain, network security domain or networking domain, where network, especially for network security domain. Okay, so what is network security, what is virus, what is malware, right? So these kind of things, and what kind of cyber security attacks are happening. So these kind of info you can able to learn. And what especially in NSC1, they will give you some basic fundamental information, as well as they will give some under NSC2, they will give some information about their product. So whatever the Fortinet products is there to secure your environment, right? So by using that particular products like FortiMan, here you will get some information about FortiGate firewall, Forti Manager, Forti Analyzer. So all are just the info about that product and what is the function of that product. That's it. So it's just a theoretical things. So if you want, you can enroll, you can yourself, and you can go for a certification, and it's a free of cost only. You can write the examination. Okay. So and NSC3, in between NSC3, previously NSC3, it's NSC3 it's for not for the technical person who want to start their career in a FortiGate firewall. Okay. So actually this is for who want to start their sales career with the Fortinet product. So Fortinet Fortinet partner company or Fortinet direct Fortinet employee, if you want to start your career in a sales, technical sales. I mean, like you're going to say sell the product, FortiGate firewall, whatever the Fortinet products are there. So you're going to sell that Fortinet uh, product. So it's a technical products, right? So you should have some technical knowledge to sell that product. So for that reason, NSC4 is designed. So for it's not for the technical person who is going to manage or handle the Fortinet products. Okay, as an administrator, right? As a firewall engineer, as a cyber security specialist, network security specialist, you are not going to deal with this. Okay, you are if you have a fundamental knowledge like CCNA. So here NSC1 and NSC2, you are going NSC1, you are going clearly you are going to have some fundamental knowledge. Okay, like whatever you have learned, if you have a knowledge of CCNA, or if you have a knowledge of CompTIA N plus or CompTIA Security Plus, right? So you're eligible to directly go for NSC4 training program. So which is purely talk about FortiGate firewall, which was previously the certification name is previously NSC4. But right now, if you want to become a certified engineer in a networks, sorry, in a Fortinet, right? So this certification is core certification, Fortinet Security Professional. Okay. Fortinet Certified Security Professional. Okay. So this is nothing. It's a core examination. Whether you are going for NSC4 examination or after that upgraded certification like NSC5 to NSC8, whatever. So you must have this certification in your hand. So you must write this examination, and this examination will fully talk about FortiGate firewall. So if you enter into the Fortinet domain, or if you want to start your career, if you want to move on to your career in a Fortinet products, then you must have knowledge of FortiGate firewall first. Then only you can able to upgrade your other products. Like, okay, so this is it's similar to, they are following like similar Cisco. So Cisco also having the same concept. Like if you want to become a CCNP engineer or CCIE engineer, right? So the core examination is mandatory. So if you are looking for enterprise, N core is mandatory. If you're looking for a security domain, S core is mandatory. The same way, you want to focus your career in a networking, I mean in a Fortinet product based, then you have to start FCP certification first. Then only you can able to get the certification called NSC. If your aim is getting a certification in NSC 4 level, then you must have this core knowledge. Then you have to core knowledge, FCP, plus you must have a knowledge of other products which is available in Fortinet. You can choose any one of the product like Forti Manager or Forti Analyzer. Okay. Likewise, any one of the product you have to choose the same as it is Cisco for. You have to choose any one of the product as a specialized certification. Then or then you have FCP plus some specialized certification in Forti Manager or Forti Analyzer or Fortinet SD-WAN, right? Whatever. So for but for NSC4, you must choose any one of this product. If you have this knowledge and if you are getting certified in this specialized product, then you will become an NSC4 engineer. If you want to start NSC5 engineer, NSC4 is mandatory. So you must have a FortiGate firewall, FCP certification, and you must have a certification in any one of the product, Forti Manager or Forti Analyzer. Then you will become NSC4. Then you will go with the other product like Forti Sandbox, Forti Mail, like that mail security product, application security product, and then Forti Authenticator, Forti Token, SD-WAN specialist. Like that, you have multiple products. So you must choose any of this product and you will become NSC5 certified engineer. Like that, multiple products are there. If you want to become an NSC8 certified engineer, it's equivalent to CCIE security certification. Certified engineer. If you are got NSC8 certification, you will get CCIE you are equivalent, you will be treated as equivalent to the CCIE security certified engineer, guys. Okay. So because you have multiple products, so you're going to have a knowledge of entire Fortinet security fabric. So Fortinet security fabric. So fabric. So whatever they have as a security product to implement the security in your infrastructure. So all the product knowledge you will be get, and you will become a security architect. Fortinet security architect. You can able to create you can able to sing as a single hand, you can able to create and deploy, and you can secure your entire data center, guys. So you have that much knowledge, you will get that much knowledge for NSC if you go for a NSC8. Okay, so you will be a expert in all Fortinet products. Okay, so here, so it's totally depends on your career move. Okay, but whatever it is, NSC4 and NSC5 or NSC8, or if you want to go for a network security domain, if you are right now you're working as a network engineer, or right now you're working as a sub I mean network, any supporting domain, right? Network support or system engineers, like that. If you want to start your career in network, even nowadays the employers are demanding to the network engineers to learn the firewalls. Okay, yeah. Okay, network engineer. If you want to go with the network security domain or cyber security domain, right? And so everything, firewall is a gateway for that. So you must have a knowledge for firewall. So if you have a knowledge of FortiGate firewall, or if you have a knowledge of multiple product, like not only FortiGate firewall, So we are going to give in this compo Paloalto and FortiGate and Checkpoint and Cisco FTD. ASA is a traditional firewall. Okay, so all these four firewalls are market leader in terms of next generation firewall. So you must have a lot of you will get a lot of opportunity in terms of your career options, and it will make sure your employability, guys. Okay, so it will give you the your secure employment, and you will get lot of opportunity. So and it's one of the added advantage to you. And employers are nowadays employers are want the people who can able to manage multiple products. The reason, so you're working, let's say take example, you're working somewhere, some organization, that organization they have multiple clients. Okay, so each and every clients, they will not able to, I mean, let's say you're expert in FortiGate firewall or you're expert in, well, Palo Alto firewall. Each and every client, they're not going to have only FortiGate firewall, or they're not going to have only Palo Alto firewall. And in our organization, okay, so multi-vendor nowadays, they are not depending on the single vendor. They are, due to the budget, right? So they are depending on the multi-vendor products. So same organization will have FortiGate firewall also, Checkpoint firewall also, sometimes Palo, two, three combination of multiple vendor products they have. So in that case, if you are as an administrator, you know only FortiGate firewall means in your organization there is, let's assume that there is a Checkpoint firewall is there and Palo Alto firewall is there, and so organization will not able to recruit another person to handle other firewalls, like, right? So it will make lot of, it will make a lot of expense to the our employers, right? So the employers are nowadays want the people to manage multi vendor product. Okay, so if you have that knowledge, multi vendor product knowledge, then it will be more advantage to you, and it will opening up your career, lot of opportunity you will get. Okay, so that is the benefit you will get by learning this by learning this multi vendor product, guys. And so you may have some question like, multi vendor product means why I should start these four firewalls. Okay. I- so the reason, they are the market leaders. 60 to 70% of the market in terms of firewall, okay, network security in terms of firewall product, 60 to 70% of the market is occupied by these brands only. Okay, so if you take 100 companies, 100 organization, out of 160 organization, definitely they will use any combination of any two products in this firewall comp. Just ignore ASA, it's a traditional one. But this four firewall, definitely they will use any of two minimum. Okay, so so that's the reason nowadays employers are demanding multiple vendor products. Okay, so you and also you will get lot of opportunity. It's because of this only. And in market, lot of next generation firewalls are there. So, but they are not occupying the firewall industry just like these four vendors. Okay, so that's the reason you will get lot of I'm surely saying that you will get lot of opportunity if you know, if you learn all these products. Okay, so okay, yes. So here, so as per our curriculum, we will cover FortiGate firewall and FortiGate firewall, end-to-end FortiGate firewall. So as per the Fortinet vendor, there is a two papers if you want to write a examination on FCP. Okay, so Fortinet security and FortiGate security and Fortinet infrastructure. So the detailed curriculum discussion we already completed in our demo itself. So I'll share with you if you guys are someone is new. Okay, so I will share. I already shared the document, curriculum document as well for your reference. So again, I will. My team will share with these documents for your reference. You can go through that, guys. And the session also, I'll share the demo session also. I'll share with. I asked to my team to share with you guys, so you can just refer it. Okay. So let's start. So in Palo Alto, you are going to learn Palo Alto firewall and one more product called Panorama. so which is centralized management device. So we talk about the Forti manager, right? The same way, same kind of Forti manager and Forti analyzer and Fortinet, the same role Palo Alto firewall, Palo Alto device Panorama will do, and where you can manage 100 multiple Palo Alto firewalls under one roof. You can deploy this device as a centralized management device or centralized local collector. Both the rule the Panorama will do. So here you will learn both the devices, Palo Alto plus Panorama. Okay. And then Cisco FTD, in Cisco FTD firewall plus FMC, similar to Panorama. So centralized firepower, centralized management device where you can manage multiple firepower devices under one roof. It's similar to Palo Alto Panorama and FortiGate Fortinet 40 Manager. Okay, this that devices also you are going to learn, and Cisco ASA. Totally, you are going to learn FortiGate firewall. Okay, and then in Palo Alto firewall and Panorama, and then in Cisco, Cisco, in Cisco ASA, Cisco FTD, Cisco FMC, okay, and checkpoint. You're going to learn Gaia, which is nothing checkpoint firewall. Okay, let me add as a CP. Checkpoint firewall. So in this 5-on firewall mastery program, you're going to learn 7 products. Okay, 7 products. You're almost 7 products you are going to learn in this 5-on firewall mastery program. Guys. Okay, so so duration for this course again. So FortiGate will take, since it's a 1 hour batch, FortiGate will take one 1 month to complete, and check Palo Alto will take 1.5 months to complete. Okay, 0.5 months, because Palo Alto have huge curriculum than any other firewalls. Okay, so 1.5 months it will take, and FortiGate firewall 1 month, and Cisco ASA will take 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So 3 weeks for me, it will max to max 4 weeks. And Cisco FTD, 3 weeks it will take. So say AS and FTD along will start. So you can consider like 4 to 6 weeks, 1.5 months, both. So totally 3 weeks for checkpoint, 4 weeks for checkpoint as well. Okay. So totally 5 months it will take to complete for all 5-on firewall mastery program, but you have 1 year validity for this course. So in suppose if you're due to, I know you are all working guys, right? So if suppose you are not able to continue any one of the products, so due to your work reason or due to personal reasons, you have another 6 months after completion of that, or meanwhile you can rejoin in this 1 year span of time. You can join multiple times for entire compo or any one of the specific firewalls without paying anything. Okay, in this 1 year validity, guys. Okay, so fine. So and this session we will give a recorder. If you're suppose if you're not able to join any one of the day, 1 or 2 days or any one of the session, okay, so we will provide the recorded videos for your access in our portal itself. Okay, you can able to access the recorded video. So to access our portal, just go to our website, so networkethics.net, and here you can see access LMS. Okay, just click this button, it will redirect to you to our LMS portal where you can access your session recorded videos. Okay, so we will create a for your live batch. We will create a separate course where it will be daily. After the session, the recorded video will be added into this portal, so you can access it. Okay, so in this portal itself, the course content, I mean, so course materials, everything will be provided in our portal itself. You can access through your mobile application or your web application. You can able to access it. Okay, so the once you have joined, right, so the we will create a separate account for you, and we will give you the portal. I mean, so we will give you the portal. Okay. So for those who already joined, I request you to share your register mail ID and your WhatsApp number. Okay. So and your uh, full name. So please share it in our chat box. Okay. So I'll create a separate WhatsApp group for you guys, and I'll create a portal access account where you can able to access your recorded videos. So I request you to share that information, your name and your mail ID, because the images, the whatever that we are going to do, the lab setup, right? So for that, the image files you need, right? So the like Fortinet file for the Paloalto, like that firewalls operating system files will be shared to your register mail ID only. So please share your information here. So after the session, we'll create an account for you and we will provide the access. So not after the session. So you will get the access on Friday. Okay. And for today and tomorrow session video will be shared through our YouTube link itself, so you can able to access it. But from Monday, you cannot access the recorded video there. So for that, we need to create a account. I mean, we will share that in your portal account itself. Yes. So everyone is done, guys. Please share your details. Yeah. Don't chat anything else. So please share your information only. Okay, yes. So I hope everyone shared that. Okay, you will get access. Okay, so you'll get a notification through your mail ID, register mail ID as well. Okay, so and you'll be added into the WhatsApp group as well. So link will be shared from Monday onwards. Link will be shared on our paid student WhatsApp group only, guys. Okay, so I could see here someone has shared through WhatsApp. Guys, please share. Don't share in a WhatsApp group. Okay, WhatsApp personal chat. Please share it in your in this Zoom chat itself. Okay, guys. So okay, that's fine. Let's get into the installation of I mean lab setup. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to start official curriculum from Monday only. So now I'm going to start lab installation. So for lab installation, lab access for your hands-on, those who want to access your lab from your laptop or desktop. So this session will helpful to you. So how to create your own lab setup by using E1G tool. So for virtual lab, we are using the tool called E1G, guys. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. Okay, I hope you can able to see my screen, right? So yeah, that's fine. So now, uh, so as I mentioned, we are going to use simulator tool called EvenG. So which is actually it's an emulator which can do more than that simulator. So I hope you guys are already aware about, since you have a knowledge almost CCNA, at least CCNA or above that. So I hope you might hear about GNS3 packet tracer. If you are a if you are a CCNA, no, if you have a knowledge of CCNA, then you already know about the packet tracer, and there is a chance to you might have a knowledge of GNS3. GNS3, it's a simulator packet tracer and similar GNS3 are similar virtual simulators where you can able to do hands-on with packet tracer. It's Cisco proprietary tool where you can able to do hands-on with only Cisco products, okay, and with the limited features only. Okay, but GNS3 will give a more it's it's a advanced tool. You can able to integrate with multiple vendor product, but there is some limitation with the GNS3 as well. The performance limitation is there. Okay, but now we are going to these are the simulators. It will work with the limited features of that operating systems. Okay, but we are we are going to use tool called eve next generation simulators, which is called emulators. Now they are called as emulators. So this tool will support all the vendor products. Okay, this tool will support all the vendor. So not only Cisco, not only Juniper, like n number of network security, networking and network security and cyber security tools, uh, devices can be do hands-on with this tool. Okay, so that's why we are choosing this emulator, guys. Okay, so this emulator, and it's a user friendly, and it has a lot of options, so you can install the simulator and in your laptop or desktop. Okay, so in your laptop or desktop, so you can able to access your lab and from your laptop itself. Okay, so and if you have a server, virtual server, like you are already running a virtual server through EXSA or NSX operating system. Okay, so you have some more hardware, you have huge hardware resources than your laptop or personal devices. So in that case, you can go with a virtual, you can install uh, that particular hardware as a virtual server by installing virtualization operating system called EXSI or NSX, right? So which is VMware workstation, sorry, VMware virtualization operating system, which will this operating system will used for the virtualization purpose. Okay, so the same way, if you have a more hardware, okay, than your virtual server, let's say, if you have a huge hardware like 128 GB RAM and 16 core, more than 16 core processor, which physical core, so logically 32 cores, such like that, 16 core, 20 cores, more than 16 cores. If you have, you can deploy this EVNG operating system without utilizing the virtualization tool or operating system directly, because EVNG itself, it's an virtualization operating system. It can able to provide, it can able to enhance the virtualization. So you can directly install the EVNG bare metal. I mean, it's called bare metal installation. So EVNG operating system directly you can able to install. You don't need any virtualization uh, application or virtualization operating system to you to enhance this application activity. So you can directly install this EVNG if you have enough hardware as a bare metal installation. We call it as a bare metal installation. Okay, and you can install this EVNG into the I don't have any enough hardware. I don't have even my laptop or desktop personal computers are not enough space, okay, enough hardware resources, and I don't have a privilege to buy huge hardwares, right? So in that case, you can go with, I have a less configuration user and device only, and but still I want to use my lab setup, my own lab setup, virtual lab setup. Then you have a option called Google platform. You can install this EVNG in GCP for next 90 days. You can use without paying anything, for free of cost. where you can take minimum, you can take 32 GB RAM, 8 virtual core CPU. If you take 32 GB RAM, 8 virtual core that CPU, and plus 200 GB of SSD. This dead hard disk is enough. This storage is enough to install your EVNG if you have it in Google Cloud. If you okay, so this devices, this virtual machine, you can able to create and you can install EVNG there in free of cost for next 90 days. You no need to pay for it. Only the verification will go. So for that, it will ask you to create a free trial account. You need to create free trial account there, and they will give you in your account, they will give you 300 USD for your learnings purpose. So you, whatever the usage you are going to use in GCP by installing this EVNG, right? So that will be debited from that free trial credit account which they have given to your account. Okay, so from directly from the GCP portal, they will they will debit this amount, okay, as per your usage. So max to max you can use this for 90 days. Previously they given a 1 year validity, but now whether you're utilizing your full 300 USD or you're utilizing the 9 I mean, you maybe you have a 3 remaining 200 USD also, but only validity it's 90 days. Previously they given a 1 year, but now they reduced that for 3 months. Okay, so you no need to upgrade your hardware for hands-on purpose if you know, if you don't have a budget to upgrade your hardware, or if you no need to unnecessary for learning itself. You, after learning this, you are not going to do hands-on, or you're not going to implement with this in a real-time production network by using this hardware. Okay, you are going to deal with the real products, right? So you no need to upgrade your hardware if until unless it's you really need a upgradation. Okay, so for a hands-on you can go with this. If you want your own lab setup, you can go with the Google Cloud platform, guys. Google Cloud installation. Okay, if you want. If already you have a hardware, like my laptop is fair enough to install, or I have a virtual servers, I have some rack server, and I can able to, I already is running a virtual server run by installing the EXSI or NXS operating system, right? So in that case, you can choose, you can go with your hardware, guys. Okay. So these are all the options to install this EVNG, guys. Okay, clear? So in today's session, we are going to see because all everyone have this these kind of devices, end user device, right? But it's not sure. I'm not sure whether everyone is going to have this, right? So in that case, so first I'm going to start with installing this event in your laptop or desktop. So if you use this option, you can you can install by following the same step. You can install the virtual in your evng in your virtual server itself. Okay, instead of using here we will use one virtualization application called in laptop or desktop, right? So while installing the evng, here we will use one application which enhance the network virtualization called EXS, sorry, not EX, called VMware Workstation. So similarly, we have a Oracle virtual box, but the that right now EVNG will not support that virtualization tool. Okay, so I request you to install VMware Workstation. Okay, or workstation or VMware Player. One more application from the VMware side. So that is called VMware Player, guys. Okay. You can install the VMware Player. Okay. So after install this application on your laptop or desktop, then only we can able to install our EVNG operating system. So before that, this is the installation we are going to start today. Before that, what is the prerequisite hardware or software or any prerequisites we need to install? Yes, So your hardware should have minimum requirement. If you have a i5 processor and recent generator processor, recent generation processor, okay. So like if you have a fifth generation, sixth generation and all, still you can install, but you have some lot of you will face lot of workload, so which means it will make a latency to access, okay. So minimum, if it is a at least seventh generation processor, you will get feel little efficiency, okay, with i-core i5 processor. Minimum i5 processor or relevant Intel i5 processor are relevant to the equivalent to the AMD processor. And minimum RAM, 6 GB RAM you need to allocate for the you need to have, because 4 GB RAM, minimum 4 GB RAM you are going to allocate in your EVE-NG. And the base operating system, which you might have a Windows or Linux or Apple, whatever, right? So that operating system also need to run to achieve the application, whatever the task you are doing. So in that main operating system, so that need a RAM. So it will minimum you can allocate 2 GB RAM, okay. But still it will make a latency in your network or in your devices, so you will feel some slow access on your devices on your lab, okay. When you're working with the uh, pro devices, Fortinet, it will not you can able to see efficiency. But when you go with a Palo Alto, and when you go with the full checkpoint, so you will feel latency. If you will not feel the good efficiency, will be very low for if in this minimum hardware requirement. But my recommendation, if you have minimum, you should have a i7 processor, because we are not hands on, we can able to do that. But hands on, how we are going to do so, right? So we need to implement all the features along with some little multiple products. You are going to create a topology minimum with a 10 devices, like you are going to create some LAN subnets, right? So to achieve all the features, all to implement all the labs, so minimum you need your LAN subnet, and you need one firewall minimum, and you need a server you need to install, right? Server segments you are going to use, and real internet minimum, okay. So here minimum two CPUs, two machines for LAN subnet, and two machines you are going to use for DMZ, where you are going to say deploy your servers. And then you need a management PC, right? And then you need this is switch, you are connecting with the switch, right? And you're connecting with the firewall Palo to achieve the high availability in one more Palo, one more FortiGate, one more checkpoint, right? So multiple devices you need to add. So almost it will the minimal topology, if you're even if you're using it, right? So it will come around 10 machine. So to run these 10 machines simultaneously, because all are need a hardware resources, because all are having own operating system, either Windows or Linux. Here you are going to use, here server you are going to use, and router also we are going to use, right? So and server we are going to use a Windows server operating system, okay. So all are having a hard or operating system, they need a hardware to run, right? So all the machines, if you are running simultaneously, so it needs some more hardware, right? So with whatever you are allocated in your VM, so that hardware, you need enough hardware to run this machine efficiently. So my suggestion, if you have i7 processor, okay, with a minimum seventh generation processor, okay, uh, and then, or if you have a latest version 10 10 11 and all, it's fine, well and all, it's fine. So you okay, so you will get more efficiency. And minimum, if you have a 16 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, you can able to allocate within the minimum 8 GB RAM you are going to allocate for that machine itself, okay. So even G itself, so if you have a 16 GB RAM, that is more efficient, okay. So and then 200 GB space you need to install whatever you're doing in a EVE-NG, that will be stored in your local storage only. So you need 200 GB storage to save your lab access. I mean lab activities. Okay. So and then all endpoint devices like laptop or desktop, definitely you'll have one Ethernet adapter and either wireless adapter. That's fine for internet access or to communicate within EVNG network area, or when it is try to access the internet or your local LAN subnet, right? So in that case, you need an adapter to communicate. So obviously we have it. Okay, and then your hardware, if you are fulfill all this, your hardware should support this virtualization feature called VTX. So if it is AMD processor, it should support RBA. Okay, so so this feature is not supported by your processor, or if might be some vendor product will support, but they will disable this by default. Okay, so if it is disabled, you need to enable that feature in your BIOS. Okay, to install you can able to install the EVNG, but when you can also run the EVNG. But inside the EVNG, we are going to install multiple product like router, switch, firewalls, right? Firewalls, and then servers and all. So these devices need a hardware to run this operating system. So this hardware will be taken from your base machine only. So so you need this feature. This is called nested virtualization. I'll explain it later. So now within a minute, okay, I'll explain what is nested virtualization. Okay, so this hardware these machines or need a hardware. Okay, to provide this hardware resources from your local machine, right? So the VMware workstation will helpful for that. So VMware workstation will get a hardware allocation from base machine, and that hardware allocation will give to your EVNG devices, whichever you are installing, Paloalto, FortiGate, router, switches, everything. Okay, so this concept is called virtualization inside the virtualization, and that is called nested virtualization. This feature will be supported only if this VTX virtualization feature is enabled on your on your processor and your motherboard. Okay, if it is disabled or if it is not supported by your motherboard or it is not supported by the processor, right? So you can install the EVNG still, but whenever you're starting your router switch in your topology, that machines are not able to get a hardware allocation, so they will not run, guys. Okay, so make sure this feature is enabled in your hardware. Okay, so this is the hardware requirement. And software, we need minimum, you need to you are going to install the virtualization application which is providing the virtualization enhancement. So this application only will help us to get physical hardware, get some hardware allocation for the EVNG installed devices from your physical hardware. And this tool is called VMware Workstation, or you can install VMware Player. You must install minimum 15.x or later. Right now 17.x version is going. Okay, so you can choose any of them. If you're installed 14.x or 13.x, so the below version, it will not support this EVNG installation, guys. Okay, so it should minimum 15.x version or later versions. Okay, either this you need to install, or either this you need to install in your base operating system, in your physical hardware, which is your laptop or desktop. Okay, and then you need EVNG operating system file. Actually, EVNG it's nothing. Actually, EVNG it's a Ubuntu based operating system, Linux based, and especially it's a Ubuntu operating. You can install the EVNG packages in directly on your Ubuntu operating system only. Okay, so mother operating system for EVNG is Ubuntu. So Ubuntu minimum 16.x. If you are going to install, okay, ISO file by using ISO file. But here to make your installation is very easy. We are going to use OVF file format. So this, okay. So this operating system, it is already pre-installed with the Ubuntu operating system. You no need to install the EVNG packages on Ubuntu operating system directly. It is because when you're using OVF file format, it's already pre-installed. Okay, so to make simplified for the installation, we'll use 𝑭𝒊𝒓 file format only. Okay, fine guys. So now we are going to enter into the installation. Before this installation we are going to do it in a two part. Okay, so one is 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄 installation, operating system installation, which is going to do today itself, right? Second part, after install the 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄, we are going to do our hands-on, right? So we are going to add Paloalto firewall, FortiGate firewall, checkpoint, and devices, other devices for our hands-on purpose, right? So we are going to create a topology there. So that device where I can access that devices, whether it is pre-installed there or we need to install. We need to install that. So we need to install or we need to install the image devices, install the or upload. Instead of saying that install, we need to upload the operating system of FortiGate firewall, latest one, 7.6. And we are going to install Cisco VIOS router. And we are going to install Cisco VIOS layer 2 switch. And we are going to install Windows client machine. We are going to install Windows server machine later on when we need. Okay, so but all these devices, since we are going to start this batch with the Fortinet, I am installing FortiGate firewall first. Okay, so how to upload this image files, what is the procedure, where to upload, and what is the what in my in my experience. So you will complete the installation properly, but when you go for uploading the image file, lot of mistakes you will get. Okay. So whatever the mistakes you will get, how to fix that issues, if you are facing that issue, what might be the reason, how to fix it, everything we'll discuss on tomorrow guys. Okay, so first we'll go with the installation. Okay, while installing that, so your installation will be like this. So you have a base machine. Okay, so your, let's say this is your PC. In your PC you have one operating system, base operating system. In my, you can take example for my device. This is my uh, desktop. So in this desktop I have 32 GB RAM, i7 10th generation processor, totally 16 threads, 8 core plus each core I can able to use 2 threads totally. So 16 core I have, 16 threads I have, and I have 512 GB SSD. Okay, 2 dB. Okay, so I'm going to install 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄 in my direct SSD itself, C drive itself, where my operating Windows running with the Windows operating system. Okay, so in here only I'm going to install. Okay, so the same way you are going to install in your hardware. Okay, so while install, this is your PC, right? So hardware, PC hardware, and it is so based on your, your what is your configuration. So it is running in this configuration, and this PC you might run with a Linux based operating system, or you might go with Windows, or you might Mac operating system, Apple operating system. It's totally depends on your usage, your base machine, based on your machine. Okay, so now the same way I have Windows operating system, and this is my hardware. Okay, and here only in this hardware only we are going to create our own lab setup. So we already running one operating system, Windows operating system. So here we are going to install the 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄 operating system. So I'm not able to directly install this 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄 as a bare metal. Two reasons: already I have one operating system. Okay, another one, I don't have enough hardware resources to install 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄 operating system directly as a bare metal. So I'm going to use lightweight operating system of 𝑭𝒊𝒓𝒄. So I'm going to install that one, and that too I cannot directly install since I have one operating system, okay, which is my base machine. I have a lot of information there, my one data is there, so I don't want to spoil all that. So in that case, okay, you have option called you cannot, and you cannot directly run multiple operating system, right? So you need tool called VMware Workstation, which is enhancing, which is act like a bridge between your base hardware and then even your operating system, and without interrupting your base operating system. Okay, so for that you need to install that tool called VMware Workstation or VMware Player. It's totally up to you, whichever the tool you like, you can install it. Okay, so I have both the applications I have installed. So in your use case, this lab setup, I am going to use VMware Workstation Player. Okay, so which is already installed. But in your use case, you already have hardware and you already install the base operating system. So you have to install VMware Player or Workstation. In my use case, Player, so which I already installed it here. Okay, so so this file I'll share with you guys, latest version, so you can download and you can install it. After that, you need to install EVNG operating system. So this EVNG installation we are going to install in your laptop or desktop in a two method. One is ISO file format. Another one is OVF file format. ISO file format, if you choose the ISO file format, you have to start from the beginning. So how first you need to install the Ubuntu operating system, and then you have to install the EVNG lightweight operating system packages. Then only you can able to create your lab. Okay, so it will, for this you need a internet access. You need a internet access, and then only you can able to install. And it will take time as well. It is a time taking process, and for a fresher, if this tool, it will take, you will get a lot of issues if you're not having a knowledge installing the Ubuntu operating system. Then you might get some difficulties to install, but it's not a, I mean, it's not that much difficult, but you can able to do it. But another, we have another option which is already using a pre-installed EVNG operating system file, by which is by using OVF file format of EVNG, which is pre-installed. So you are going to do some basic setup only. Okay, so in your use case, you need to install this application and you need to load this OVF EVNG pre-installed operating system OVF file format in this VMware workstation. Once if you're loaded, you need to customize what hardware allocation. So what kind of RAM or processor, right? Storage, right? So these are the hardware allocation you need to complete. Once the hardware allocation is done, and you are ready to go with the EVNG operating system. So like IP assignment and then user credential only you need to create yourself. Okay, so so it's a simplest way. So my suggestion, you can go with this one OVF file format, guys. So this is what we are going to do it now. So it will take next 10 to 15 minutes. And sorry for this long session, and just be there, guys. Okay, only 10 to 15 minutes. So let's start the installation. So as I mentioned, these three steps I already done, right? So I have base hardware and running with the Windows operating system, and I already installed VMware Workstation Player. But you have to install this application first. Then only you can start the installation, EVNG installation. Okay, so here, this is the VMware Workstation. Okay, so this is the file. Here in this device, I need to load my EVNG operating system, which is pre-installed operating system, which is OVF format, right? So that here I have it. So this is that 𝑭𝒊𝒓. This file I'll share with you guys, okay, which is around 1.1 GB. So just open this file after download this file from my side. Okay, you have to open this file and you can able to see there are three type of files are there, .mf and then virtual disk storage. This is the actual hard disk where even your operating systems are installed, and after that whatever lab you are doing, that will be stored here on in this hard disk only. So where you are going to install this 𝒊𝒐 operating system, I'm going to install so to install this 𝒊𝒐 operating system, you have to choose this 𝑭𝒊𝒓 format, open virtualization format package. Okay, in this three file you need to click this file and then just right click and give open with, and choose your the application whatever you have installed for the virtualization enhancement purpose. So VMware Workstation or VMware Player. I'm going to load this operating system in my VMware Workstation. Just click VMware Workstation and it will ask you to provide the name for this VM. So here we are just uploading the operating system inside this VM. So you need to you need to give your name for this virtual machine VM. So which is nothing, it's a 𝒊𝒐 operating system. So I am going to give name as where you are going to install. I am going to install in my C drive itself. So if suppose you want to install somewhere else in your hard disk, right? So you can just go to here and choose the path like where you want to install it. C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, whatever. And you can create your customized folder as well where you want to install instead of virtual machines. So I want to go with the default one. So usually I'll use this location only. So I just want to go with here only. So which means whatever the image 𝒊𝒐 operating system I'm going to install, right? So this virtual machine will be installed under my this location, C drive, documents, and under virtual machines folder. This VM will be installed. Okay, let me give a name as 𝒊𝒐. Okay, uh, 𝒊𝒐 and give a name as a file one. Okay, so already I have some files, so I just give a name 𝒊𝒐 file one name for this virtual machine. Okay, so inside this we have a 𝒊𝒐 operating system. Just give import. Okay, now you can see this 𝒊𝒐 operating system is as soon as I imported, it is already booted and it's got some IP address. It's because this VM I have enabled with automatically this VM we imported, right? So it's a pre-configured VM and it is by default enabled as a DHCP. Your 𝒊𝒐 operating system by default enable with DHCP IP assignment. Okay, so I in my local machine, in my local network, I have one DHCP server. So that's the reason it's get the IP address from my DHCP server. So now I'm ready to go without doing anything. I can just simply by calling this IP address, okay, and through HTTP service, 𝒊𝒐 there is two type of 𝒊𝒐 operating system, guys. So 𝒊𝒐 Community Edition and Professional Edition. So Community Edition, it's a free of cost. You don't need to pay for it. But Professional Edition, it's a licensed version you need to pay. For us, for our hands-on, the Community Edition is fair enough to do. We can able to do everything. Okay, but the thing is, Community Edition will not support the HTTPS secure protocol. It will support only HTTP. If you want to use HTTPS, the secure protocol, to access your 𝒊𝒐 console over the internet or in your local network itself, so you must have Professional Edition. So the Professional Edition will be purchased by the organization, where all the organization, they will not directly implement the implementation network designing and deployment, right? So they will not do directly. They will first, they will test with the virtualization environment. So by using these kind of tool, 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄 or EXSI or right? So in that case, they will purchase from the licensed version. For us, it's not necessary. You can use this community edition. Okay, so I'll see a lot of people try to call this IP address by using HTTPS, and they will not get any response, and then uh, they will come to me and I'm not able to access my lab setup, please look on it. So it's because of non-supported protocol they are trying to access. Since we are using a community edition, you can go with the only HTTP to access the GUI console of your 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄 operating system. So about the console access deeper we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄 will support two consoles, so CLI and GUI console access. So where you, we need CLI console, or you can say it's a root access. This is general admin, normal admin access, which is supporting the GUI access. So here only we are going to create your topology, and you are going to do your hands-on visually. Whatever you are doing in your topology, you are creating everything, right? So data you can able to access the storage by using the root access, that we can able to access through CLI only. Okay, and so the root admin have username as a root if you want to access your CLI, and you have to give a username as root, and password is E, all are small letter. If you want to access the GUI to create topology and manage your labs, then username is admin and password is E. Okay, so tomorrow also we'll discuss about it. Okay, so now I need to, I'm not sure what is the hardware allocation. It is done by existing VMware, I mean, existing in operating system installation. Okay, it's a already pre-installed VM, right? So I'm not sure how much hardware allocation is done in this VM, right? So first you need to shut down this VM, and I want to set up the static IP address, and then I want to change the hardware allocation as well. So first shut down this VM, because when the machine is running, you can't able to allocate the hardwares. Okay, so you should shut down this VM. Go to VMware player. So you can see this is the 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄 5-in-1 which we installed right now, and you can see that here only you are going to modify your hardware. So edit virtual machine settings, and you can see 8 GB RAM is allocated, 4 core processor is allocated, 50 GB hard disk space is allocated for this machine. Okay, and network adapter is bridged mode, which is nothing, it is directly connected with your physical LAN server. So this VM, if you choose the network adapter type as a bridged, if you want to access the internet for the inside in 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄, let's say in your topology, you are going to add some devices here, and this is a 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄2. Okay. And from this 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄, you want to access the real internet, then this 𝑭𝒊𝒊𝒄 has some network adapter, right? So this adapter need to be this adapter. Let's say this is the 𝑭𝒊𝒄 operating system. This adapter need to be select as a this Ethernet adapter. You can able to share it, the physical hardware Ethernet adapter. You can able to share it by the help of VMware workstation or VMware player, and that adapter type. If you want to access the internet, you need to choose bridged mode, or you need to go with the NATed mode. This two mode, host only mode or custom mode, will not allow you to access the real internet. So your lab, when you are doing a lab, you want to test with the real internet access, like application control. I want to block the Facebook. So obviously I need to access the internet from the 𝑭𝒊𝒄 devices itself, right? So in that case, you can go with the bridged mode, guys. Okay, or NATed mode. So without any interruption, if you want to access the internet, make it bridged mode, and make sure replicate the physical network connection state, because if you choose a bridged mode, this machine, it will be a part of your LAN machine, LAN subnet. So in your home network, you might have a wireless router, and this wireless router is connected with your laptop or desktop, and you might have a multiple PC, you may PC or some mobile, right? So you can, if you are install this in your PC, if you install this EVNG as a bridged mode, so you can access this lab EVNG from your another machine. Even you can ping through your mobile like that. Okay, because it will be a part of your LAN subnet. Okay, so your LAN users can able to share this machine. Okay, so and make sure, since it's a part of LAN subnet, make sure to avoid the IP duplicacy, you need to get your EVNG, need to get your physical network connection state information as well. Okay, so just enable this option. Else, when you're trying to access the internet, that time you will get you will get some issue. So make sure replicate physical network connection state is enabled. Okay, and now I want to increase or decrease my hardware resources. So I have a 32 GB RAM, so I want to allocate 15 GB of RAM resource into this VM. So 16 GB I have allocated. And also I have 8 core processor with 16 threads, so I want to allocate 50% of my hardware utilization, so my processor. So I'm going to allocate 8 CP, 8 core CP. Okay, so which means sorry, in this VMware player, this workstation player, right? So I can allocate the cores only, not threads. So if it is a VM where workstation pro, I can allocate per core. Let's say I have 8 core, so in that 8 core I have 2 threads, each core 2 threads. So 8 core I can totally allocate, and then inside that one, each core I can allocate one thread. Okay, but here not like that, you can allocate only core. Okay, 8 core means I have totally 8 core only, which means 16 threads. So if I allocate entire hardware processing unit to my VM, how how can I get my base machine will run, right? So you should not allocate full hardware resources. So in that case, whatever I know, 8 core means 50 percentage, 4 core, which means totally 8 threads. So 50 percentage I'm going to allocate 4 core CPU, and make sure this VTX feature is enabled in your VMware workstation as well. So I told you, right? So what is VTX? Okay. So if you are forget to enable here, and the same thing, you can install the EVNG and you can upload the image files when you start the hardware from the EVNG, like when you start the machines, like any router, switch, whatever, that machine will not run, because of this. If without this feature, this operating system EVNG can run, because EVNG can get the operating system from, hardware resources from the base machine. So by the help of VMware workstation. So if you're not enable this feature inside the EVNG, whatever router, switch, firewall, these operating system also need a hardware allocation. So this can be done by this feature only. If you forget to enable this feature in your VMware workstation player, or in your BIOS player or workstation, or BIOS, or your processor is not supporting, you can install the EVNG, you can upload the image files, but the devices will not run properly. Okay, so you need to make sure it, guys. Okay, and then hardware allocation 50 GB is not enough, because you are going to run Windows operating system, Paloalto, FortiGate, whatever, multiple operating system. So they need also some hardware, right? So storage, right? So to run that operating system, single Windows machine minimum it's need 25 GB RAM to, sorry, 25 GB storage to run this operating system, and recommended is 40 GB, right? So if you give a 50 GB, it's only one Windows operating system only you can able to run it, right? So you need to increase your hardware allocation. So try to expand, and how much storage I want to allocate, 200 GB storage for this VM. So I expand, give expand, this machine will be expand. Okay, and that's it. So hardware allocation is done. Network adapter I have chosen as a bridged mode, and CPU I have allocated, RAM I have allocated, storage I have allocated. That's it. So all necessary hardware components I have allocated. Just click OK. And now switch on your VM, because just select EVNG find one and play virtual machine to switch on your VM. And I, in my hardware allocation, I don't have options to assign the IP address, right? So that IP assignment you have to do it in your EVNG operating system, not in your hardware allocation. Okay, so now still I got this IP, right? So because right now it's configured as a DHCP client. So that IP assignment I can able to change it in my GUI, not GUI, in my CLI only. Okay, so for that I am going to access my CLI. To access my CLI, just go inside this VMware workstation, VMware player login page, and type username as a root. Let's say, let me try to type username as admin, which is GUI credential. Username password is Eve, and you can see you will get some error. You will not able to log in. You will get some error. It's a login incorrect. But username and password is fine. But this user, this administrator doesn't have a privilege to enter into the EVNG CLI console. Okay. So use username as a root, password is Eve, and you can see this page where it's an initial setup. So operating system is installed, but you need to do initial setup access. If you want, you can change the root password. Root by default username is Eve, right? So if you want root by default password of root username user is Eve. So if you want to change it, you can change it. To change, just place the cursor there and just type username, I mean your password. Okay, so whatever you try to type, you will not able to see. So hit enter and retype, go into the retype and hit enter. If the username and sorry, if the password is wrong, you will get username, I mean password is incorrect, and it will ask you to assign the password. Okay, so if everything is fine, then it will go to the next stage. So here you can assign the name for your operating system host name. So this is EVNG by default. I want to change it as E find one, which is going to start with FortiGate. As a name, I just given a FZD. Okay, and hit enter. And next, if you have a DNS server, if you want to provide the domain name for this, you can just use it domain name, and you can integrate with your local DNS servers, or you can go with the internet. You can provide the lab from the internet. I mean the internet users too. So you can, if you want to, if you purchase the URL, you can use that domain name here. Okay, but I don't have that here. Since we are using it locally, you no need to use it. So if you don't have anything like that, just click OK. That's it. And you here you can see the IP assignment, DHCP and static. So here only you have to change it. So that by default DHCP is selected, star is selected here. So if you want to assign the IP address statically, you have to click this static method and star should be placed here. Okay, so for that, so just place your cursor here and then scroll down. You can see my, I'm just placing the cursor here and there, but the static is not yet selected. Okay, to select that static IP assignment method, star should be placed under static, which means you have selected the static method. To select that, you have to hit the space bar. If you click enter, it will not work. It will complete your IP assignment method since already it's enabled with the DHCP. Okay, it will not go for other IP static IP assignment method. So you have to make sure the star is enabled here. To enable that, you need to place your cursor under static and then hit your space bar. Okay, and now I just hit a space bar and static is selected, and now just hit enter, click OK. Okay, now it will redirect to the IP assignment. So it will ask you to assign the IP address. So since we chosen a network adapter mode as a bridged mode, you have to assign the IP address from your LAN subnet. So this is my LAN subnet. You can see that 190.168.1.0/24 network, and my gateway is 190.168.1.1. And this is /24 network, right? So you have to assign the IP address from this range. So I always want to use a static IP address for this VM. So if you are okay with the DHCP, you no need to assign the IP address in a static method. Okay, you can go with the DHCP itself. So I want to assign the IP address 90.168.1.50, and then if the slash 24 network subnet mask it is asking, so give 255.255.255.0. Okay, and then gateway. So I want to give a gateway and my gateway 192.168.1.1. Just click OK. And the DNS server, if you have a local DNS server, if you use the domain name, right? So you can provide the DNS server. But if you are supposed try to access the internet from the EVNG, so better to make DNS server IP. Okay. So I'm going to give my global DNS server, Google DNS server as 8.8.8. That's it. Okay, secondary DNS server, if you have, you can just give, or you can leave it just by click OK. And NTP server to synchronize this operating system with your network time based on your network time. If you have NTP server, you can give that IP. But we are not using in a production network this, so we don't have NTP server and all. Just click OK. That's it. And if suppose this VM want to access the internet, you want to use any anonymous proxy method, or you want to directly connect the internet, just like how your LAN users are try to access the internet. I want to connect the internet just like my LAN subnet users. So I want to go with a direct connection. So that you will not, you no need to assign and you don't need to configure the proxy kind of thing. So you, okay, just leave it as it is. And your EVNG installation is completed. Your EVNG is ready to use it. Okay. So once it is rebooted, it will give you your IP, whatever the static IP you have assigned, right? So that IP will show you. So by calling that IP, now you can see instead of 1.5, I got the IP address 192.168.1.50, which is assigned by me and which is part of my LAN subnet. So from my base machine, by open my browser, okay, and by calling this IP address, let me access HTTPS 192.168.1.50. You're not going to get the result. So all the students will follow these steps, and they will forget this HTTPS is not accessible because we are using a community edition. So HTTPS will not be supported. So you have to use HTTP, and you can see we got reply from the EVNG operating system, and it is asking you to provide a credential. So username is this credential. If you give a root user, I think we have given everything as password in caps in for CLI. Okay, that's fine. So username is root. Password is E. So password whatever I said for root user. And about the console, there are two type of console: native console and HTML5 console. This console for the devices whichever you are going to install it in inside the EVNG devices access. Okay, so don't that I'll explain tomorrow. Okay, so that is part of second part of installation. Okay, so try to sign in with the root, and you can see incorrect login username and password. Please use default login password admin EU. Okay, so username is, because it's only for the GUI access. So username admin, password EU, and just sign in. And you can see I'm logged in into the GUI console of my EVNG. Here only I'm going to create my lab. Okay, so let's say I'm creating a folder, whatever the lab I am going to do, hands-on here. Under this folder, I'm going to save. So FortiNet lab. Okay. And this inside the folder only, we are going to create our lab. So to create a lab, you can see add new lab and add. So lab is a test lab. Okay. Or first lab. I'm giving it here. Okay. And then save it. And here, this is your workspace, guys. Here only you are going to add your devices, and you're going to draw your create your topology, router, switch, right? And your client machines, run Windows server, firewalls, right? And whatever, right? So you're going to integrate your servers and routers in a DMZ zone LAN, and you're going to connect with your site. 2, right? And again one more firewall, and you're going to add switches, and again your management network, and here your management network. Like that, sample topologies, whatever the lab we are going to use inside for your hands-on, everything we will draw here like this only. Okay, and multiple internet connectivity, right? So for SD-WAN, everything we will do it here only, guys. So this workspace only. So for that, we need all these tools. We need to install the router switches, and by default, it is not having any devices images. So where you can see that images, just right click on your empty workspace and go to node. You can see these are all the devices are supported by the event. These are all the vendor devices are of Apple. You can install the app Mac OS here, Cisco AS, Cisco FTD, whatever, on Fortinet, right? Juniper, pfSense, VMware Workstation, Windows operating system, VMware NSX operating system, VXSI operating system, right? Juniper, Linux. All the devices will be supported. But only thing is, you need to upload this image files into the event. That's our second part of installation, which we will do it tomorrow, guys. Okay, so as of now, do you guys have any doubt for the installation, or do you guys have any queries? So part one of installation is done. So do you have any queries or any doubts as of now? Clear? Any doubts? If you want to ask me, just raise your hand. I'll unmute you. Taikudin, Pradeepa, Vikas, Syam, Mohan, Abu Ahmed. Any doubts? Yeah, Mohan, we'll get you. I mean, I'll give you the image files. Okay, I'll share the image files. No worries. Pradeepa, no doubt. Okay, that's fine. Abdul, Abdul Ahmed, any doubt or any question regarding this installation? Yeah, it will be provided. No worries. Thank you then. I'll give you the document how to install it step by step. Okay, no worries. So any doubts regarding the installation or any confusions you have? As of now, clear, right? Okay, guys. So then that's it. Today we'll meet tomorrow. And guys, I'll take a session today and tomorrow, and day after tomorrow I'm available for the support. So I want to make sure within Friday you guys have to complete your lab setup. Okay. So if you need any support and the same scheduled 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm available for your support. Okay. And let me know. I'll assist you if you are getting any issues. So tomorrow I will tomorrow morning you will get the link where you can download the image files, and then even the operating system, VMware workstations, everything. Okay. So Raikudin, that is second part of lab. Okay, uploading first we need to upload the image files, under that we will do it tomorrow. Documents will be provided, and you can also watch the recorded videos of this session as well. And if you are facing any difficulties, I'm available for the support, so you don't need to worry about it. Tomorrow I will show all the error, what kind of error you might do, and how to fix it by yourself. So You can do it tomorrow after the session. You can do it by yourself. If you are facing any difficulties, I'm available for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So I'm day after tomorrow and Saturday. So you can reach out me for that, and I'll take a remote access and I'll fix it. Okay. So, but the first thing you need to do it yourself. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's it today. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care. And the WhatsApp will tomorrow we'll create WhatsApp group and I'll share the link. I mean, I'll add you to that group. So the link you will get tomorrow in our new WhatsApp group itself, guys. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.